All right, we're down to our last minute and a half of practice here for our players on the 12:30 p.m. squad of this 2025 Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. I'm $2 Phil Brylow, bringing you through the afternoon into the evening, as we will have a big qualifying squad at 4 p.m. They'll have 5 bowlers on a pair, and then our qualifying today with a blast, I guess you could say, as we're working our way towards our double elimination match play brackets tomorrow. We'll get you some player introductions once practice is complete. We'll take you across the house in game one, let you know where your favorite bowler is bowling, because that way you can follow them game by game. We have all the pairs in play streaming here on the Bohn Legacy YouTube channel. And with the player movement, it's pretty easy to follow. Once we tell you where your player is on a pair, they're going to skip 2 pairs and land on the 3rd after every game. So let's say we've got our bowlers. If you're an Anna Anthony fan, she's starting at 7 and 8. And once she gets started, she'll skip 2 pairs, land on 13 and 14 for her second game. She'll go to 19 and 20 for her third game, 25 and 26 for her fourth game, and end up on 31 and 32 for her fifth and final game, as this is 5-game qualifying blocks for the PBIII. Quite a few former champions of this event in the squad. A runner-up or 2 as well from past years. And we've got some Fuego Takis in front of us. Got to keep the energy level up. And practice complete. We're going to get our Bowl for Life announcement from Parker.
Basically, before a ball of competition would start. On behalf of Bowl for Life, please come over here because we're going to take your picture on 16 and 17. Our first winner on behalf of Bowl for Life for $300 is Sebastian Bernier. Our second winner on behalf of Bowl for Life for $300 in scholarship would go to Caitlin Zhang. Please come down here so that Brandon can take your pictures. And one last thing before the squad gets underway, I want to mention, everybody. Trust me when I say this, I was exactly where all of you were at a long, long time ago. But on that, I will say this. There's a person in this building right now I'd like to take a split second to recognize. His name, one of the greatest players in PBA history who helped me get to where I am today. None other than the great Johnny Petraglia is here. We don't want to hold you up, but I need to recognize greatness when greatness is here, and I sincerely believe he is one of the greatest of all time. That being said, your lanes are on. Please go out there. Good luck to everyone. Bowl good. And ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice send-off for this 1230 squad?
Thanks again,
Good
Parker.
luck, athletes.
We're off. Johnny Petraglia, a grandfather for the first time as of last night. His granddaughter, Zori Marie, born yesterday afternoon. So Johnny with an ear-to-ear smile. You're not going to be able to wipe that off his face at all today. We'll start you off here on 7-8. We'll work our way across the field here in our 1230 squad with your player introductions. Addison Quattrini is your bowler A. Amelia Drost, your bowler B. Anna Anthony, your U15 champion from last year, wraps 10. She's in the U18 girls division this year. And Brooke Andreessen going for the Iron Woman Award. I think she's bowling every squad. There should be like there should be a 25 game payout. Highest 25 game payout for you Iron Women. Oh, she's not. She's taking the 4 o'clock squad off. Okay. Still, she'll have her 20 games in already this weekend, and she'll be back tomorrow with that qualifying score she put up.
I like bowling.
Who doesn't? That's why we're all here. We love bowling. In one way or another. Brooke with a big score. She's your #1 bowler after 3 squads in the U18 girls division. Takes all 10 down. Let's get over some more young ladies in the U18 and U15 girls. That's the best shot you're going to see from Brooke all day. We don't need to stay on her anymore. I'm right behind the 7 and 8 in the booth, so I get to have a little fun with the players when they're down here. Ah, 9 to 10. I know. We've got on lane 9, Carmen Youngs in the U18 girls, your bowler A on lane 9. Nine B is Julia Skarbowski in the 18U girls. Lane 10, Caitlin Zen's your bowler C, and Caitlin Zhang, your bowler D. And Caitlin, one of our 2 Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation winners before we even threw a ball on this squad, thanks to Deb and Chuck Gardner. And they're great. Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation. They have graciously donated $3,000 in total. That's being broken up into 10 $300 scholarships for players that they can win before they even throw a ball. And Caitlin Zhang, one of those winners on this squad. The other winner was Sebastian Bernier. And once again, can't appreciate enough the generosity of Chuck and Deb Gardner and Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation. Please check them out between squads. bowlforlife.com, because even if you have a young bowler in your family, they might not have the bowling average of these young players you're seeing out here today, but they still have a love of the sport. They can earn scholarships from Bowl for Life as well through various essay contests and other contests that Bowl for Life runs during a calendar year. So keep an eye on that, bowlforlife.com. Check them out after we're done with this squad. Over on 11 and 12, Katie Swavely. Swavely as your bowler A on 11. Madison Lesher, your bowler B. Both those young ladies in the U18 girls. Malia Briggs, your bowler C. Nina Alvarez, your bowler D. Those young ladies all in the U18 as well. Let's go over our players on 13 through 16. Raylan Taustein, your bowler A. Sadriana Erb, your bowler B. Trishna Desai, a former U15 girls winner, is your bowler C. And Aaron Mantello, your bowler D. Mantello in the 18U boys. Other players on 13 and 14 in the U18 girls. Your players on 15 and 16 in the U18 boys. Aiden Mack, your A. Angelo Galafaro, your B. Ari Smith, your C. Braden Cassidy, your D. As we make our way through the pairs. And, you know, we couldn't do it without all the volunteers that we have here. See Larry running by again, hustling, getting scores, getting tickets sold. Tom Russo selling raffle tickets as well. Lots of the great volunteers, a great staff here at Howell Lanes too. Boy, things have been running flawlessly. Here at Howell Lanes all weekend long. And you can't have a quality bowling center without employees that care about their customers, and they really do here at Howell Lanes. Now, once again, we're going to be moving through all the players here all day long here in the Strike Central feed. As we'll follow hot hands, we'll follow leaders. Maybe if somebody's making a bid at a perfect game, we'll be following them. But you can follow your favorite player on the pair feeds. All pairs available to you here on the Bohn Legacy YouTube channel. Let's get over to 17 through 20. Clayton Tyndall, your bowler A. Colin Zenz, your bowler B. Connor Tonkin, your bowler C. Deion Hunter, your bowler D on 17, 18, 19, 20. Gavin Broad. Ian Honscheid. Honscheid took down the Eliminator title last night for the PBIII prior to our fun Baker Trios event. And Jacob Kalinas, your C. Jonathan Durand, your D. All those players in the U18 boys division. They're trying to track down the leader in the U18 boys. Should be Ian Honshai. Don't have the update from game 4 from the last round yet. Let's see if we can sneak away around that here. Honshai at 1150, the only player on the U18 boys side to break the 1100 mark to this point. Still not the high, well, it is the highest block now in this event. Tyler Anderson in the U15 boys, the only other player to break the 1100 mark for 4. In the U18 girls division, since we're through most of those ladies with introductions, Brooke Andreessen, 1074, the only player to break 1,000. And she has an 80-pin advantage over Audrey Harding, but once again, 2 more squads to go. Will that 1074 hold up in the lead spot? That's why Brooke is bowling again. Plus, if you have enough bowlers for a cash number and you throw a score inside that cash number, you can earn some additional scholarship money if those extra scores on attempts 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 beat the cut number score into a bracket. Let's get you over lanes 21 through 24. On 21 and 22. 21, we have Kai Struthers, your A, Logan Lewis, your B, Luke Italia, your C, and Maxwell Benware, your D. On 23 and 24, Nathander Lutan, Peyton Schley, Presley James Vickery, and Ryan Haberkern, your A through D respectively on 23 and 24. And I want to thank Miranda Patterson specifically for running out my rosters at the beginning of every round. And I really got to thank Justin Bohn too. I mean, the work he's doing behind the scenes, making sure these scores get out for everybody as quick as we can give you those numbers today. That's all Justin Bohn manning the ship. He's got his brother Brandon and a couple other volunteers manning the tablets. They can punch him right in lane side, get him the scores, and he gets everything verified up and accurate for those standings. You can get the standings for the past squads already today on the BohnLegacy.com page. You'll see the 2025 Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament logo on the landing page. Just click on that. That'll get you into the tournament standings and other information about this 2025 event. Let's work our way down as we're almost across the house here inside of Howell Lanes on 25 and 26. All these players are in the U18 division on that pair. Sebastian Bernier, your Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation $300 award winner for this squad. Tommy Rawa, William Cunningham III, and Alexander Hanachek. Your A through D, respectively, on 25 and 6. Jack Cabral, Jamison Shanaba, Matthew Weniger, Ryan Tarsio. Your A through D, respectively, on 27 and 28. Good start there in game one for Wenger. The 2:28 game. But looking to the left, Bernier trying to open with a 278. After starting with the first 7 strikes. All right, I got a bowler with the wrong bowler in the wrong position here. Then I got Bernier listed as my bowler A, but he's in the bowler B spot. So Rawa and Bernier are reversed. Let's get over our last pairs in play. We've got some of our U12 mixed players taking the lanes on 29-30 with Christian Forey, your A, Connor Carmazin, your B, Isabella Mondello, your C, and Alyssa Randisi, your D. Those 4 players in your U12 mixed, your U15 girls, are taking up lanes 31 and 32 with Ariane Oliveira, Ella Wagner, Jordan Isle, and Kylie Apadesano. Your players on that pair. Alyssa Randisi, your leader in the U18 girls to this point, with a 892 total. Taryn Murphy not too far behind with 859, so a couple of solid totals for those ladies that our other 15 girls are going to try to catch up to. Once again, your player movement, skip 2 pairs, land on the 3rd, all squad long. So the bowlers you see here on 29 and 30 are going to move down to 9 and 10. 31 and 32 are going to move down to 11 and 12. And we may have another special guest or two in the booth during the squad here if we can get some of them to slow down a bit. But tell you what, it is a fun, busy weekend here and a lot of scholarship dollars to be awarded to these young players. We couldn't do it without all of our sponsors. You see some of them there with Dynamic Networks, Kegel Training Center, Storm Youth Championships, I Am Bowling, Manchester Accounting. Of course, we already mentioned Bowl for Life. We'll mention them again, all the great support they've given not just here at the Parker Bohn III tournament, but a lot of youth events across the country over the years. Brunswick Bowling, Howell Lanes, Bones Elite Training, Buddy's Pro Shop, Laurel Harbor Marina and Yacht Club, and Rev Rates VIP Entertainment. Well, we will have our 5 division finals tomorrow. We'll be looking just like TV for you during those finals tomorrow. Starting with the U12 U12 mix, then we'll go to the U15 girls, U15 boys, and we will have the U18 girls and boys battling for their titles at the same time tomorrow.
Can you talk to my mom about CDYSCs? I want to bowl one. I've never done it.
All right, we'll start you off with the same players we start off in our first game with Quattrini, Drosty, Anthony, and Andreessen on 13 and 14. Youngs, Skarbowski, Zenz, Zeng on 15-16. We'll get you some score updates momentarily as, tell you what, Justin Bohn, you've got it together, man. Like, I literally just sat back down from changing some score bugs to make sure everybody knows we're in the second game on all the pair feeds. Game 1 scores are in. It's a wonderful thing for you U18 girls. Your high game in Game 1 is a 201 by Nina Alvarez. .199 Trishna Desai, 192 Amelia Drosty. Your players that are next in line for those U18 girls standings. U18 boys. 256 for Tommy Rawa, 249 for Maxwell Benoit, 216 Connor Tonkin, 213 Kai Struthers. So Struthers a little better start this block than he had in his previous block, but a lot lower scoring pace than I expected on this pattern. Your U15 boys, Matthew Wenger, 228, Ryan Tarcio, 224, your top two. U15 girls, Jordan Isle with a 210 game. Only player to break deuce for the U15 girls. And U12 mixed, Christian Forey with a 126 game 1, setting the pace for that division. All right, that's the first time this year we've had to do that. We've actually used the YouTube feeds, the replay, to figure out a pinfall that was swept away by the rack. They weren't sure what pin slid over, and then the rack swept a 5-pin away. It should have been a 5-7 on lane 11, so we're waiting for that to be respotted for the player to shoot. So it's always nice to have the video backup as well, just in case there is any type of dispute if a machine knocks the pin over, that type of thing. So glad, it's another feature of having our live streams here. It keeps any questions from happening. We have the video proof. You can go back and look at YouTube and look at the replay, and amazing things happen, and we keep rolling along with the right pins placed back at a lane for the bowler. So sorry for the bit of being away on the commentary there for everybody. All right, let's get to a hot hand out here. With Garofalo. Open frame in the fourth, only blemish on the scorecard this game. Gets the 10 out, looking to get to, well, we've seen a couple unusual scores ending in a 1 or a 2 out of players. Tyler Alexander yesterday had a couple of those scores. Garofalo game 1, 161. So yeah, he really needs to start climbing up the leaderboard. As Garofalo hasn't put up a number that's going to get him into the top 16 yet. His best effort so far was yesterday on the 12:30 p.m. squad. He got to 1,004 for his 5 games, but there's no way that's going to hold up. After 3 squads, 1029 for Eddie Marigucci was in 8th place. Jaden Eng has a couple of spots ahead of that, so one of his will drop out. So technically 8th place right now. It's still 1026 for Taylor Bernier, but yeah, that's I think you're going to have to get to at least 1060 on the U18 boys side by the time we're done tonight with that 4 p.m. squad, especially because that 4 p.m. squad is going to have 20% more players in action. We're going to go 5 on a pair. Give a few players that were on a waiting list a little more of a chance. So thanks again to Howell Lanes, because their flexibility is allowing us to expand that final qualifying squad. Garofalo gets that first one in the 10th. Hit that one solid. Also got a player with a hot hand down on 31 and 32. Sebastian Bernier. He'll be stepping in the 9th frame. A couple of shots on, a couple strings of strikes on either side of some spares. So we know that Garofalo is going to be the 240s. That'll get him back to even this game. There you see your bowler B. Possible 266 on the board available for Bernier. Bernier's opening game just 167. So Bernier, another player trying to get back to that all-important 210 average or so. Try to make tomorrow. Hey, shooter! That is not what Mathander Luton wanted on that spare attempt. He'll 1-3-4-7 and put it right back between the super washout. So still a 240 out there for Bernier with a spare here and a couple strikes in the 10th. Once again, your player movement. Skip 2 pairs. Land on the 3rd. A quick 2 games already in the books here for this 12:30 squad of the PBIII Scholarship Tournament. The 26th edition of this event. Great to have you here from Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. I'm $2 Phil Barlow taking you through the weekend. 5 divisions of competition. We're going to crown 5 champions tomorrow inside of Rev Rates here at Howell Lanes. Give these young players a TV look, TV feel. It's one of my favorite places to shoot bowling here at Rev Rates. Just that small, intimate 5-lane setting. Makes it feel like a TV studio. And looking forward to producing that tomorrow. Looking forward to having Justin Bohn, Brandon Bohn, and other members of the Bohn family on the headsets as well. Hard to believe it's been a decade since the first time Justin Bohn grabbed a headset. Back in the days when I was with Extra Frame. They asked me to sit down in Farmdale, New York at a PBA 50 stop his dad was bowling, and now the young man produces better content than I ever could dream of on the Bohn Legacy YouTube channel.
I'm so happy Team Charles in Vegas, not Reno. Reno's packed. Reno is so packed. Nothing to do. Nothing to see. You go to the hotel, phone out, or reach track. That's it. Vegas is lit. That ball turns the edge. I'm minus 120. See that?
Get you underway here in game 3 with some of your U18 girls competitors. Youngs, Skarbowski, Zenz, and Zeng. On 21 and 22, your A through D. Then over on 23 and 24, Swavely, Lesher, Briggs, Alvarez, your A through D respectively. On that pairing for your U18 girls, nobody at a 400 total for their first 2 games. Nina Alvarez currently high at 379 on games of 201 and 178. Caitlin Zenz 372. Let's see if we have a few more scores a little down the leaderboard here. Yeah, then here's our 400s. Brooke Andreessen 401, Anna Anthony 399. Amelia Drosty 385. So there's some solid totals for those U18 ladies. For the U18 boys, nobody really taking off early. Tommy Rawa started with 256. Game 2 was 185 for a 441 total. William Cunningham III, 234, 200 for a 434 total. Maxwell Benware, game 2, drops to 182 from his 249 start to get to 431. Kai Struthers, 213, 201 for 414. Gavin Broad, 187, 225 for 412. So lots of players right around that 400 numbers. So some of those young men you need to pick up the pace if they want to get themselves in that 16-player bracket for tomorrow's double elimination match play. For our U15 boys, Matthew Wenger at 400 after 2. He's given a few pins back. Started with 228 through 172 in game 2. Ryan Tarcio, 224, 165 for 389. Waiting on the U15 girls. They're just finishing up a couple of minutes ago, so we'll get those scores for you momentarily. Your U12 mixed. Christian Forey, 126, 145 for 271 total. He's pacing the players in that U12 mixed on this squad. He's still behind the pace that was set earlier in the event. By Nolan Randisi on the 9 a.m. squad today. Randisi with 803, a 180 average. And he's leading the field as he's trying to go back-to-back in that U12 division title. Once again, all these players battling this 42-foot pattern designed for this event. About a 3.6-to-1 ratio on both sides. It's a symmetrical pattern. About 29 milliliters in the pattern, so a decent amount of volume, but nothing that's going to make the ball go overly long with 42 feet. Most of the players using either a ball with a little surface to it for our U18 boys, or even some players in urethane. Girls can get away with a little probably lane shine or even a little polish, depending on their ball speed. We'll check in with our boys U18. Top scorer after 2, Tommy Rawa, as he's yet to get started on lanes 11 and 12. Meanwhile, let's peek in on 3 of our top players in the U18 girls right now with Andreessen, Anthony, and Drosty. Drosty taking a little different approach than we see with a lot of other players. She's playing the outside portion of the lane. Almost, well, that shot definitely was a little bit right to left in the projection. Playing an area of the lane that nobody else is really using. And if it holds up for her all the way through, she started 192, 193. I'll tell you what, if you give her 5 190s on that scorecard, she's going to be in the match play round tomorrow, and that could be something that other bowlers might be looking at. Staying on the outside portion of the lane. I saw her rolling that shadow balls down in 7-8. I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad game plan. If you got the right piece of equipment in your hand, you're going to need something that rolls a little early. You may even need to start rolling up in the pattern. Great cover by Drosty, and Triple keeping the score sheet clean here through 4 frames as she tries to make a run to tomorrow. I got a little disparity. We got some pairs that are way ahead of the game. The others are just underway. Let's check in with Tommy Rawa. He was setting the pace in our U18 boys. 256, 185 for a 441 total. Rawa on the pair with Bernier as your A, Rawa your A, Bernier your B, Cunningham the third your C, Hanachek your D. Over next door on 9 and 10. Luton, Schley, James Vickery, and Haberkin your A through D respectively. It's great. Tom Russo has these flashing glasses as he tries to sell raffle tickets. The bowling ball raffles are blue raffle tickets, so we have these blue flashing glasses. Now he's selling 50-50 tickets, and his glasses are now flashing green. Smart man. That man is a marketing genius. We're going to get back over to pairing with Quattrini, Drosty, Anthony's, and Dreesen, as Drosty's got a heck of a game going. Sucker with that baby split a little earlier. Three-bagger, spare three-bagger as Drosty tries to climb into the top spot in the U18 girls. Once again, only one young lady has broken the 200 average mark. Shot a set better than 1,000 earlier, and that was Brooke Andreessen, last squad with a 1074. Anthony, she wasn't quite sure that was going to get all the way back. Take that 9 out, does so successfully. Andreessen, this squad, games at 173, 228. Anthony games at 174, 225. Drosty, 192, 193, so she's been consistent to this point. Quattrini, a little bit of a struggle at this point, 168, 167, and the struggles continue a bit this game as Quattrini does not get the head pin in shot number one of this frame. Again, I'm a fan of the strategy that Drosty's using. One-handed, a little bit lower rev player than the other two high rev players on her pair, with Anna Anthony being a two-hander and the phenomenal release of And Andreessen, that one just missed taking the 4 down. Stay out of the traffic, especially in the middle of the lane. I mean, you got the young U18 players, some of them with the spray and play strategy on occasion. They get a little quick, and all of a sudden they're pushing some oil out, especially with urethane in the middle of the lane, so you stay out of the slot being created if you're Drosty, and have a pretty pristine part of the lane to yourself. Pretty simple game for Drosty, not a lot of moving parts. To get yourself into trouble with, relatively low backswing, kind of almost an Ernie Schlegel-like pull through of the ball. I mean, it is mostly a free swing, a little bit of control to it. But I'm impressed with this young lady to this point. Not afraid to play the lanes her own way. There you go. Stands up on it. There we go. Well done, Amelia Drosty. Has that chance to put 257 on the board. That's going to build the confidence getting into the last 2 games. I'll tell you what, tomorrow, she has a good finish here. It makes that match play bracket. Any young lady that's going to have to bowl Amelia Drosty, you better bring your A game. Yeah, if she can find that part of the lane available to her on each pair that she'll bowl tomorrow. Once again, it is 2-game total pin match play brackets, double elimination. Both games happen on the same pair of lanes. So unlike today where the bowlers are staying on a pair for a game and then moving to another pair, they get to get a little more comfortable on the match play pairs. So Anthony will stay at -2, still in really good shape. She's one of those young ladies. She gets match play is her bread and butter. I mean, you don't win a title at junior gold without being a great match play bowler, bowling your game. Making sure the nerves don't get to a point they affect the swing. And Anthony did it last year here for the PBIII and did it this past summer in Green Bay at junior gold. And Andreessen's going to give a few pins back. She was 1 over. She'll be in the 570 range for her first 3 games of qualifying, but still that score she put up last squad of 1074. We'll see her tomorrow. She's kind of using the squad probably the rest of the way through. She's going to probably be experimenting with another ball or two, seeing the ball reaction she gets, trying to get some notes on what she'll need to do in match play tomorrow. And I would think that 1074 would probably receive a bye if we get up to a dozen girls advancing in the match play. Yeah, we're already guaranteed 8 with the bowlers for this squad, and with the number of ladies I'll be bowling on the next squad too. I think we'll get to that 12 number for the bracket. So the top 4 seeds and the U18 girls will receive byes in the morning. U18 boys, it'll be a 16-player battle all the way through. And once we know the final entry numbers for the U15 and U12 divisions, we'll be able to calculate the number of bowlers in those brackets. And how about that for Amelia Drosty? What a game. She's on pace to take over Andreessen. If she can keep it rolling. Very deliberate, making sure that that foot is on the correct board, looking down at the ball right before she starts the fire. And you just see that quick flip of the hand through. A little break there. Oh, the pin rolls back in front of the 9. A little smile on the way back, but nice game in the 240s. As we'll get over to Rawa, who's having some problems this game. Only 1 strike in his first 7 attempts. So odds are he's going to be falling out of pace to even try to make the cut for tomorrow, but he's got 2 more games to turn it around. Once again, your players moving 2 pairs, landing on the 3rd. Players you see just walk off at 9 and 10 are going up to 15 and 16. The players you see here on 11 and 12 are going to 17 and 18. As our 12:30 squad rolls on from Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey, and the 2025 Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. Once again, thanks to all of our sponsors: Kegel Training Center, Dynamic Networks, Storm Youth Championships, I Am Bowling, Manchester Accounting Services, Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation, Brunswick, Howell Lanes, Bones Elite Training, Buddy's Pro Shop, Laurel Harbor Marina and Yacht Club, and Rev Rates VIP Entertainment. Just off to our left here, behind lanes 7 and 8 is where our booth is. 1 through 5 is Rev Rates, and that's where we'll have our 5 championship finals tomorrow. so they have a Brunswick ball demo going on the Rev Rates side of Hall Lanes here. That not many, obviously a lot of bowlers out here, but some of the bowlers coming in for the 4 o'clock squad, taking advantage of it, trying some of the new brands of Brunswick equipment. I think they have 14 different bowling balls over there that bowlers can try. And Alex Horton, former champion here of the PBIII a few years back, and Brunswick and Ebonite staff member, just won the PBA East Region RPI last week in Middletown, Delaware, and he's here volunteering his time this weekend, helping out, giving back the game. And I just saw him, Diamond Lanes 1 and 2, and they put the patterns up on the scoreboards to let people know what patterns they can try the balls on. And the one on lane 1 where Alex was sitting says SYC 45 foot for the Storm Youth Championships. I'm like, sir, aren't you a little old for the youth championships now? He goes, yes, I am. But thanks again to Alex Horton coming back, giving back to the players. You're great young man, good PBA career in front of him. Sounds like he's thinking about bowling the PTQs and some of the open events on the PBA Tour in 2026. And I'll tell you what, I think he can do pretty okay out there. Everybody can find a good week and then have that build towards the start of a career. So we're going to stick with Drosty for another few shots here. Why not? She's the highest hand in the building. Male, female, right-handed, left-handed. Coming off a 246 in game number 3 of this qualifying block. Puts her at 631 for her first 3 games. Making a run towards Brooke Andreessen's 5-game total from last squad to take over the number 1 spot. And once again, I can imagine there's some buys available. There we go, front 3 for Drosty. She's moved in a little bit on that pair. But playing a very old school line. You know, it's kind of reminding me of a little Ernie Schlegelish right now, for those of you who are old enough to remember Ernie. Johnny Petraglia told me a great story about Ernie the other day that can never be told on air. But it was so Ernie. I mean, Ernie, one of the all-time greats of the PBA, regardless of, even though he didn't have the number of titles that a lot of other famous players had. Ernie Schlegel, though, was inducted in 1997 in the PBA Hall of Fame. So he did, I mean, even though it wasn't the titles, you know, with the modern standards, Ernie wouldn't have had the titles. But that's also, you know, one of the great reasons why the PBA now is the Veterans Committee, because we had some players like a Steve Jaros, who was recently inducted. I'm hoping Ryan Schaefer gets inducted. I mean, Ryan and I might not see eye to eye on a few things in life. But that man's career and the money he earned and the number of television shows he made, especially at majors, I hope the Veterans Committee gets smart and gets Schaefer inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame. It was, you know, Ryan could be considered a bit caustic sometimes. But you don't get, shouldn't be voted into a Hall of Fame whether or not what your personality did on the lanes. It's what your bowling ball did on the lanes. And Schaefer, definitely one of those players I believe should be in the PBA Hall of Fame. All right, let's see if Drosty can get herself 4 in a row here. Make that pose. Oh, and the weak 6 ends that bit at perfection. All right, so Drosty with a nice bounce back after missing that single pin. Let's see if she can get double here. Then we're going to find one of our boys, leaders in the U15. Keep an eye on for a little bit here. And that's going to be Ryan Tarcio. Tarcio, 224, 165, 252. Tarcio is your bowler D. on 19 and 20. Tercio bowling with Cabral, Shanabro, Wenger, and himself, A, B, C, and D, respectively. Wenger sitting at 543 for the first three in the U15 boys. Shanabro 528. And Cabral with a rough start has yet to break 500 for the first three. Drosty just keeps it rolling. Not intimidated at all. I mean, you got the young lady that just won junior gold in Green Bay, Wisconsin on your pair with Anna Anthony. You've got Brooke Andreessen, who's won a whole bunch of stuff and finished second here last year in the U18 girls to Abigail Starkey. And Drosty just acting like the seasoned professional. No one's going to bother me. I'm going to bowl my game my way. As she's put three baggers on either side of that open frame. I'm sure she would love to have that week 10 back in the fourth. See what Tarcio can do on the spare attempt. Just gets it down. But Tarcio's got a way to go yet if he thinks he's going to take down the leader in the U15 boys with Tyler Anderson, as Anderson put up that 11-13 total. And once again with that U15 boys, that's looking to be a 6-player bracket tomorrow. So getting one of those 2 buys is going to be very important. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a 6-player bracket for the U15 boys. U15 girls. That may be a 4-player bracket. And those younger divisions, usually smaller. Bowlers sometimes take a little bit more to develop their game. And to get to be a scratch bowler, there's a lot of youth players out there that are 12, 13, 14, 15 years old that might just be first getting into the sport, die hard. They're only averaging 140 or 150 right now in house patterns, and they're probably not going to be competitive here at the PBIII. They had some fun the other night. We had quite a few of those players in during the Trios Baker Sweeper. But there was handicap for those teams that help even the playing field. Let's get over to Drosty again. And that one a bit high. Even 6'10". But we'll see those entry counts. You see those bowlers get better right when they turn 16, 17, and all of a sudden they're averaging 180, 190. And they know they got a chance with a good event. Make it into the match play bracket here at the PB3. That's why you always have a lot more entries in the U18 divisions than you do in the lower age divisions. So we'll stay here with Drosty through the end of this game. Once again, all your pair feeds available to you as Drosty could put up 245. Once again, that'd be one of the higher games in the building. The 246 by Drosty in Game 3 was the second highest Game 3 of all players in the field. Only the .252 of Ryan Tarsio was higher. So Drosty definitely putting on a show. And she's looking to take down Andreessen out of that number 1 spot. She strikes out here. She's just going to need a baby 200 in Game 5 to make that happen. So your players in 25 and 26, they're going to move over to 31 and 32 for their final game. Players you see on 27 and 28, they'll be moving the big walk down to lanes 7 and 8, as we'll have our final game of this 12:30 p.m. squad. The 4th of 5 squads are qualifying for the 2025 Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. And a big squad next round. Not only is it the final squad of qualifying, but thanks to Hall Lanes for letting the event have a little extra time, we're able to fit 5 on a pair for that final round. So expanding the field a little bit, we'll have 65 bowlers in the field that final round throughout our 5 divisions. And that'll be the last chance to make Sunday's double elimination match play brackets in all 5 divisions. Well, Hohenscheid not having a block he wanted. He was at 639 after his first three. I mean, he can get to that, 660 or 860 range, which pacing-wise is great for him. I mean, it's a score that made the cut. The problem is Hohenscheid's already leading after last squad, so he's not going to raise his number barring a perfect game in Game 5. So nobody else on that pair really pacing a ton. So we're going to get over and watch some young ladies we haven't seen much of today in our girls U18, as that'll be the 216 finish with Hohenscheid. As we have Carmen Youngs, Julie Skarbowski, Caitlin Zenz, and Caitlin Zhang here on 7 and 8. Zenz and Zhang both winners of Bowl for Life $300 scholarships today before they even rolled the bowling ball. Caitlin Zenz won on the 9 a.m. squad. Caitlin Zhang won on the 12:30 p.m. squad. Two winners on each squad, $300 per scholarship. And thanks to Chuck and Deb Gardner and the Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation, $3,000 in scholarships won already in this event before bowlers even roll the ball down the lane. Thanks again to Chuck and Deb. Hope all is well in the Carolinas. I hope it's a good day, and I hope you're watching a little bit and getting some sunshine and enjoying the weather. There's Skarbowski rattling a few pins down. So Zheng, Swavely, and Lesher need a few Swavely Lesher on the pair next door. Youngs and Skarbowski. Skarbowski's going to need a really big last game. All his other players are going to need huge, let's put it that way, last games to make anything happen. Let's take a quick peek in here, quick peek in here on our U18 leader on this squad, Amelia Dosti, as she's back to striking. Missed a 7-pin in the first frame, made the 10-pin in the second. So, boy, if she gets her spare game under control, we've seen a couple of missed single pins. She's going to be tough to beat tomorrow. But then again, when you get an Anna Anthony and a Brooke Andreessen, boy, there are going to be some really good matches in that girls U18 division. Now, tomorrow you're going to be able to watch all the pairs in play for match play. So make sure you're having your parent on site or a friend on site text you what lanes your bowler is going to be on in a match play round, because we're going to be bringing you all the match play feeds. There will not be any commentary tomorrow. We're going to be busy setting up for the division finals inside of Rev Rates. There will not be a Strike Central feed, but the feeds here for our pairs are going to be constantly running all the way through. So you'll be able to watch your favorite player as they advance through the match play bracket, trying to get into those 5 division finals inside of Rev Rates. We got scores rolling in. Let's find our U15 girls again. Alyssa Randisi was pacing the field here. So I have Alyssa Randisi. Let me clarify something because they're showing Randisi in the U15 girls. She's leading that division. She'd be definitely leading the U15 mixed as well. She'd be battling her brother Nolan if that was the case. Let me double check. So Randisi is actually Nolan Randisi. I had a typo on my initial roster sheet. So Nolan in the U12 mix, so he's pacing the U12 mix over that group on 27 and 28. So we'll watch Randisi try to bounce back from an open frame in the 5th. Wait, somebody's messing with me now. Okay. Who's messing with me? That is Alyssa. Your bowler D. Come on. I got to have a talk with the tournament office, playing around. Too many siblings out there. So we should have our U15 girls coming on to 29 and 30. Drosty plugging away. She's got a double offset the open, but she's going to need to get at least another double in there. To try to pass Andreessen's score set last round. Great toss by Drosty. Andreessen trying to pop a big finish here. Still the chance for 279 as that one holds on. Andreessen this block, though 736 only for the first 4 games. The high game previous to this, 228 with all their games less than 173. But she's definitely in it tomorrow. We'll get the official numbers from the tournament office on the 4 o'clock squad, but it looks like they're going to take a dozen girls in the U18 girls. That would give Andreessen a bye. And at the pace that Drosty is going, she'd receive a bye as well. As Drosty just needs a 206 game to lock in the #1 spot. Doesn't matter if you're 1 or 4 tomorrow, though, for the U18 girls. Everybody gets that same first round bye, all pinfall drops. And our 15 girls are taking to the lanes now with Oliveira, Wagner, Isle, and Apadesano. Your A through D respectively on 29 and 30. Not the day Quattrini was hoping for to this point. But let's see, is Quattrini, yeah, she's on the 4 o'clock squad, so she'll get another chance to fire her 5 games and try to make that estimated top 12 for the U18 girls. Once again, we'll get all final numbers from the tournament office once the 4 o'clock squad is underway, because I'm sure there'll be some bowlers that know they fired a number to get into the cut, and Andreessen's chance at 279 goes away. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't a chance at 279. She opened in the second frame. And Drosti with her first big mistake in a while. She's had some mistakes on spares, but that's the first time we've seen her leave a big gaping wound on the scorecard on the first shot. Yeah, a bit of unusual pacing. Some of our U18 boys are already done with their games. So we may be ending the audio portion of our 12:30 programming a bit early, depending on what our pacing is here. There is something for Quattrini to build on for her next attempt at 4 p.m. So Andreessen's going to hold the #1 spot as Drosti can max out for 203. And that would leave Drosti at 1076. 2 pins behind what Andreessen put up on the 9 a.m. squad this morning. But still, those two young ladies, actually just one. Actually, hold on. 1074 for Andreessen. So, yeah, we can still get a #1 bowler here with Drosti. She can get the 1076. So it's going to take a double and 9 to have a new leader in the 18 girls division, the U18 girls division. Let's see what Drosty can do. She's thrown it well all day. She's made most of her spares. There's been some errant shots here and there. And, just takes the 7 down. I mean, honestly, other than the pride factor, being in first place in the girls 18U after qualifying, first or fourth is not going to matter. That's looking at most likely a bye spot once we make the brackets official. But just the pride knowing, hey, you led qualifying. You're ahead of the defending U18 girls junior gold champion. You're ahead of the young lady that finished second last year here in the PBIII. It's been a good day so far for Amelia Drosty. And you can build on that confidence for tomorrow. There you go, 6 kicks to 10, and she just needs 9 pins to take over the lead in the U18 division. And Drosty making the most of, that's her only chance. This is it. She is not listed on the 4 p.m. squad, so only one opportunity to fire for Drosty, and she's made the most of it. We're going to see her tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. in that U18 girls match play bracket. There you go. Great finish by Drosty. Low game of 192. I don't care who you are out here this weekend. To have a low game on your block, 192, that is just absolutely incredible by Amelia Drosty. Great bowling, young lady. Howenscheid's going to be your leader in the U18 boys after 4 squads. He put up his big total last squad. This total for squad number 4 not going to get there. And Howenscheid not on the roster for the 4 p.m. squad, so he's had enough. He's taking that squad off. He knows he's got a number that he'll be bowling tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So a great effort earlier by Howenscheid. He'll be in the number 1 spot. And with that, we're going to end our audio portion of the programming for our 4th of 5 qualifying squads here for the 26th edition of the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. Last chance for bowlers to see action tomorrow begins roughly at 4 p.m. We may be a minute or 2 behind. Maybe a minute or 2, not too awful long. But we're going to have a lot of bowling going on that squad, as we are going to have 5 players on the pair instead of the 4 you've been seeing today. So 20% more players trying to make their way into tomorrow's double elimination bracket match play competition. I'm $2 Phil Bridlow. Hey, parents, Take the kids bowling because you know they're going to have fun for life, and we'll see you back here, 4 p.m. Eastern Time for Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey.